Today in the House Oversight Committee, things got real crazy. Now, what they're doing in the House Oversight Committee, they're voting for the bill for the legislation that President Trump has as far as on no tax on tips, decreases in taxes, the tax cuts, the $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. This is what they're in there discussing to vote that out of committee. So then it goes to the floor. And then once it gets voted on the floor and it passes the floor, it goes to the Senate and then it becomes a law. And so the Democrats have been doing everything they can, pushing back. And you might say, why in the world do they even say crazy stuff in these hearings? And here's why. The Republicans have such a small lead that the Democrats believe if they can get up there and talk that crap and spew that propaganda, 2 or maybe 3 weak Republicans, rhinos as we call them, may flip and vote with the Democrats. Now, Republicans know that if they do that, it's pretty much over. They're gonna get voted out. They're gonna get elected out or ran against in primary the next time they're up for election. Because one thing the Democrat Party does, they stay unified on their BS, and then Republicans, they get in and get to infighting a little bit, and it just makes things look ridiculous. But the Democrat Party since Trump's election have been looking ridiculous, especially since he got sworn in on January the 20th. So now in this hearing, in this House Oversight Committee meeting, Maxwell Frost, one of the congressmen, decides that he's going to speak his mind on how he feels about President Trump. Now, before I show you this video clip, one thing I want to show you about Mr. Maxwell Frost is this. So Mr. Maxwell Frost here, as you can see, he couldn't even get an apartment due to bad credit. Okay, so he's going to get up and he's going to lecture 2 men that have built international multi-billion-dollar businesses, and he's going to get up and speak his mind about how he feels they're doing government, right? So let's get back to this. So today in the House Oversight Committee meeting, he decides he's going to do that. So I'm going to show you this clip, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene decides that she's going to give him a piece of her mind, and then the whole thing just goes up and smoke goes off. So check this out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate it. You know, in the mission statement that you've put out for this committee, it says it's ensure that the economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability of the federal government, which I think we all agree on. We all want to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. But the thing is that y'all are all looking in the wrong places. You want to talk about making cuts to things like Medicaid, which, by the way, over 35% of all the children in this country are covered under Medicaid. Over 100,000 people in my district are covered under Medicaid. People like the grifter in chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So if we want to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm down to do, why is there complete silence on the other side of the aisle about looking at the complete grifter that is the president of the United States and the richest man on the earth, which is looking into things like Social Security and different things like that? Why don't we investigate the real corruption?
Hold off. Point of order. Point of order. Hold off. It was a point of order when you said something. Who asked for it?
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid. Hit that like button. I'll never ask you for a cash app. I will never ask you for a super chat. But you hitting that like button, it is currency. It helps spread the video around. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. On the Real Politics Podcast, that's exactly what we do. We talk real politics. So hit that subscribe button. And when you do, click the notification bell and select all. Not personalized, select all. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. So at this point, due to the fact that he decided to call the president of the United States the grifter in chief and all of this disrespectful stuff, he just violated decorum rules of Congress. Even though things go crazy in there, one thing they do attempt to maintain is certain levels of, consistency and maintaining certain rules, especially of decorum, which is why, they don't curse at each other, or even when they're talking, you're not supposed to address another member. You could be talking about them, but you don't address them, you address the chair. Certain things to kind of keep it as civil as possible. But as we've seen, the Democrats are desperate. And so right now, what they're doing is everything that they can to disrupt and delay. As a matter of fact, Maxwell Frost is the one who said that is the whole mission. So in this next clip, Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to respond, and she's going to lay out exactly how what the Democrats are crying over is BS and how the president has every right. Matter of fact, she's going to be specific, and she's going to say some things that the Democrats are not going to like. But after she says that, Maxwell Frost is not done. He's not done. He's going to push the line so far that you won't believe what happened to him next. Check this out.
Chair recognizes Ms. Greene from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Democrat colleagues across the aisle are complaining and pitching tantrums over Elon Musk and his Doge teams cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the executive branch and the federal government. Claiming this is unconstitutional is an outright lie. Article 2 of the Constitution clearly states that the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America. President Trump exercised that power by appointing Mr. Elon Musk as a special government employee. The president, via executive order, created the U.S. Doge service within the former U.S. Digital Service to implement the president's Doge agenda by modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. Doge has been brought in exactly like the U.S. Digital Service during President Obama's tenure. This is not unconstitutional. 72% of Americans, this is on both sides of the aisles, you guys. These are people in your district, these are people in my district, agree that we need to cut the ridiculous amount of waste, fraud, and abuse because Americans, all of us together, are $36 trillion in debt. $36 trillion in debt is what should be unconstitutional. Not doing everything we can to save the American people their hard-earned tax dollars. You can protest all you want outside of departments of this government. You can protest all you want, but the American people disagree with you. You're protecting the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is not a business. Those are not real jobs producing federal revenue. By the way, they're consuming taxpayer dollars. Those jobs are paid for by the American tax people who work real jobs, earn real income, pay federal taxes, and then pay these federal employees. Federal employees do not deserve their jobs. Federal employees do not deserve their paychecks. And these are jobs that can be fired at will. But you want to know why? The American people can't pay for it anymore. We cannot afford it. $36 trillion in debt. If you want to make that your platform, your hill to die on, go ahead, because 72% of Americans agree with Doge, agree with cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse, and agree with what this committee is supposed to be about, oversight.
She spoke truth. Now, the thing about it is that logic, that common sense, she's a businesswoman. And so she gets it. Those are non-revenue generating positions. Many of them are not, they're non-essential. These people were already allowed to work at home for years. They're not responding to emails. They feel violated because they got to respond to an email. They feel offended because they got to come to work. And if you pay attention, the Democrat Party is more focused on fighting for these federal employees and for illegal immigrants than they are fighting for the American citizens. I just heard Jasmine Crockett say America is not, and that's the Congresswoman. She said America's not in the business of handing out money. While we just saw them give billions of dollars to illegal immigrants. Then say $5,000. What is that going to, she don't know what that's going to do for somebody spoken like a true elitist that has lost touch with the people. $5,000, that's 2 months of bills for a lot of people. 3 months of bills for some people, at least a 4 month of bills for most. So with her $9 million net worth and $174,000 a year cushy government job that we pay for, remember, these politicians, they beg for money. They don't build anything. They don't create anything. But yet they're going to tell businessmen, real builders, President Trump, a literal builder, Elon Musk, who went into Twitter, fired 80% of his staff. And if you remember, they said that wasn't going to work and Twitter was going to crash. Not only did Twitter come back bigger and better than ever as X, it is actually profitable because for years it operated at just breaking even and a lot of times even taking losses. But in business big like that, debt is actually good. And I won't even get into how you leverage debt and whatnot, a whole nother conversation. But they said the same thing. Why? Because they're politicians, not business people. They don't know the inside analytics. They didn't even know this crap was being done, or did they? So now something that they've never seen done. Oh, this never been done in the history of the country. Exactly. So how you know is this constitutional crisis when it's actually listed in the Constitution exactly what they're doing. And then Doge is the new name, the revamp, the upgrade from the program that President Obama created. Because when he initially came into office, his mission was to cut waste. But unlike President Trump, Obama got into office with a whole lot of palms that had to be greased, a whole lot of favors owed. So when he started talking that, cutting this and cutting that, somebody in the back of the room just stood up with a manila folder or tapped their shoulder or opened their jacket and showed the manila folder They got whatever pictures, documents, or whatever they need to make sure they can yank that chain whenever they needed to keep them in line. And if you notice, you never heard about waste and fraud and spending it all from him again. Everything went transgender. In this clip, you're going to watch Mr. Maxwell Frost totally blow his gasket and get tossed right out of the House Oversight Committee meeting. Bye-bye, sir. Bye-bye.
I want to say it's despicable that this committee is going to silence me for bringing
The
up
gentleman's words have been
Mr.
taken
Frost,
down. He is not
Mr.
permitted
Frost.
to speak for the rest of the hearing.
making millions of dollars.
Mr. Mr. Ranking Member, I'm going to have the Sergeant at Arms remove him if he doesn't refrain.
Lefties losing it. Lefties losing it, like Rita Perrine says on Sky News. Well, as you saw, the Democrats have nothing. Their objective is truly to delay and obstruct, and anything they can do to be a nuisance and a thorn in the side of the Republicans, they're going to do it. But they're losing. It's like they keep talking about Trump in these court cases. Trump is winning these cases. Every time they bring it up, the only thing that's happening is the judge is having a pause. Wow. They set together whatever motions are being sent in, but they're not beating them back. And every time they go in front of the judge and they go using the legal way, the correct way, the constitutional way, President Trump, Elon Musk, and Doge has been knocking it out of the park. So don't let the mainstream media freak you out. And the way they say, oh, President Trump is losing the faith of the American people. Bull crap. He is growing stronger every day. He's higher and higher and higher. He's the highest that he's ever been, ever right now. And over 70% of the American people agree with what President Trump, Elon Musk, and Doge is doing. So I wanted to jump in, tap in, and share that with you. Hey, listen, thank you for watching the video. Like the video if you haven't already. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. And sincerely, again, I appreciate you for watching. I'm Brian Maxwell, saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.